Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Stasis, where bloodbath. Oh goody. Still in the medical bay trying to find our daughter and our wife. Still a couple levels down to go. And gotta figure out whether we're gonna go either this way, the reception office, or we can go to this other nondescript area. So I say we take the receptionist office. That seems like a slightly safer route to go. At least one would think. Still a lot of bloodstains. The flickering lights draw morbid attention.
It crawled through the night, and then they grafted their eyes and tore through my skin. Oh, never ever, never again. They came for our mothers and then for our kin, scratching the guilt and eating their sin, changing God's work, a seed to begin. We burn them with fire and kill them with men. Let us remember, never again.
What the hell was all of that? Who was crying, by the way? That was so strange. Personal data tag has no security clearance. Okay. So we have to find somebody that has security clearance to that security door. Oh, good. The flickering lights draw morbid attention to the arcs of blood staining the wall. Alright. Really not comfortable with that room. But I think I just saw something. Never mind. Okay. So, at least we do know that that's where we have to go in order to move on in this area, because that elevator is not going to be functional. Okay, what have we here? We got a force field. Charged plasma molecules dart across the surface of an invisible electrical field. Wow, I've not seen that before. That's weird. Bloodstained environmental suits. These suits look relatively intact despite the new decorations spattering their surface. You can't begin to estimate how many lives ended here. Yeah, there's a wildly high amount of blood in this area. Although they are saturated with human ichor, the suits are in working order. Well, I'm going to go put one on. And maybe that'll allow me to get through this force field. Who knows?
Serotonergic receptors are present in your principal vascular system.
Oh, what did we just take?
Profanity, derogatory comments, or other intimidating actions directed at Kane security employees.
This should be useful.
Okay. Wasn't really planning on that. Can we use this on the force field?
I can try to make it fit, but it may break.
Let's check this out really quick. What the hell is all of this? Can we go in that? No, we can't. We can only look through it. Okay, so we've got something. There's a whole bunch of interactive things in this room. I don't know what the hell's going on in there, but that's going to be a very important room whenever we can get to it. We still need to find a way to get some security clearance. I don't know where we're going to come across that either, but we'll figure it out. Unlike much of the other machinery, this terminal was designed to assist in healing. An extracted PDT. Oh, this could be good. Several bent spinal hooks protrude from a disengaged personal data tag. Ow. Spinal hooks?
Back. It's been cut open.
Of course! They must have manually removed the PDTs. That's why the security systems were reset in medical.
Ah, the bodies. The bodies in the crew quarters. They were skinned. The creatures were using the PDTs to move through secure areas.
Must have realized what was going on.
So for me to get to the lower decks,
You have to remove your tag.
remove?
Perhaps electric shock. No, that wouldn't work. John? This is the only surefire way.
What are you saying?
The surgery pod should already be programmed to remove it.
It didn't work out so well for this poor woman.
It's the only way, unless you space jump between decks.
This is surgery.
That sounds like a better idea to me.
Prep the pod.
So you want me to jump into this thing and have it rip my back out? Is that what you're asking? Because I don't know if I like that idea at all. Just being honest with you. Personal data tag. I wonder.
Work.
I wonder if that one has the clearance that we need. Let's check it out. Oh, it's Isaiah Al-Raj Cooper. I've seen that name before. A new year for the chief surgeon and a new year for the staff of the medical deck. I have to think of it that way, or it gets rather confusing. The staff of the medical deck now consists of 3 extra sections: cybernetics, tissue regeneration, and for some reason, medicinal hydroponics. Yes, it may be medicinal, but as I told Dr. Milan, they are still plants. I don't wish to seem ungrateful. It is Kane Corporation who opened so many new doorways for me, and who redefined the frontiers of medicine for us all. As a man who served his apprenticeship on the battlefields, elbow deep in the blood of innocence, to see those deserts and war-torn villages reborn as images of nirvana is a privilege, and all thanks to the sciences of Kane. And yet it's hard to understand why, on the Groom Lake, so many departments are being forced to share resources like this. I hear our budgets will be up for review soon, and the chances of us getting an increase are slim. I shall try to remain positive. My goodness, a 300% budget increase? Or a budget increase? I have not yet been able to even imagine how helpful this financial windfall will be. Dr. Milan assured me that a sizable portion of this budget will be applied to Project Seed. It makes our work that much more essential. We'll order new equipment and new samples, although I don't totally agree with the ethics of Dr. Milan's acquisition of volunteers for surgery and testing. The leaps and bounds we made in our research more make up for the rest of it. Is it wrong that we must test the limits of morality for the greater good? Kinda. I'm a surgeon who has seen many awful things in the blood-soaked abattoirs, I'm not sure what that word is, of the Pangea Wars, so perhaps this should be second nature to me. But I don't recall agreeing to the use of children for testing. I went to inspect the stasis tubes at the request of my chief nurse and found that there were several children, some as young as 9 years old, awaiting processing. Children? I was shocked and appalled and demanded an explanation from Dr. Milan. Edward Jenner had to test vaccines on children to see if they'd work, he said. I knew the story. What medical does not? Jenner injected infected purulent exudates into the child's arm, which must have seemed callous disregard for the child's life. And yet, it saved the boy. That is how he convinced me. We are at the frontier of the sciences. Chances must be taken, and do not always feel comfortable with his ethical choices, but his logic is sound. The research is too valuable for us to let a few moral qualms get in our way. I fear that my decision to become a surgeon with Kane Corporation is not quite as simple as I thought. The first casualties of the infection spreading across the ship came to my lab, where we had to set up a quarantined operating room. I had to get hands-on with a patient for the first time in years. The flow of blood, the cutting of infected tissue using my specialized tools. God forgive me, but I enjoyed it. It's impossible to explain the adrenaline rush from playing God in such a way, of having the lives of so many on the verge of death in your hands. I felt it on the battlefields, and I feel it now. It is not the beauty of birth that moves me, it seems, but the pungent stench of death. I thought I'd joined Kane Corporation to save my soul. Instead, it is to slake the thirst of the beast in me, whose jaws slaver at the scent of blood. I am ashamed. How could I not have seen it? Those awful life forms are disguising themselves as us, inside us. They wear our skins and our PDTs, which explains how the security systems cannot detect them. If I didn't already know where those creatures came from, this would perhaps be less frightening. But they've learned, the vile abominations. Abomination. What a word that is. It appears to summarize what we have created in our hubris. We have created evil. God help us all. Yeah, you did. That's what you get for playing God, damn it. For all those who still able to receive this... Oh, okay, that's the same message that we got. Excuse me. Okay, so this is to Dr. Al-Raj Cooper from C. Backman. Dr. Milan has recalibrated his guidelines for the subjects in Project Seed, and specifically the requirements for any female subjects who have previously been pregnant. The female subjects should ideally... female subjects should ideally have been screened, but their precise source is not important. Since the project has a 99.89 50% chance of non-fatal reaction in subjects, members of staff will be eligible for this test. The ideal subject is as follows. Blood type O negative, between 5'5" and 6 feet, free of any genetic defects, between the age of 18 and 40. Subjects must have recently been pregnant, ideally within the past year. Huh. Alright, the nurse. We've disagreed often, but never so more than now. I am aware that Miss Callister doesn't work in surgery and that the chief nurse Boxer has seniority in terms of rank. However, Callister has one of the most extraordinary organizational minds I've ever worked with. The product storage areas are clean and well indexed. Therefore, I have to challenge your demand that I remove her from her position because of these false reports she has been sending you about anomalies in the supplies. I have no doubt that your claims of her illicitly taking samples is also only an accusation. She is a fine worker and reports only what she feels is right. I'll be taking no action against her. You are in charge of the project, but you must allow me to choose my staff at my own discretion. Regards, Isaiah. Okay. So this is what we got, huh? Let's see, we got an oxygen storage tank. Which, hey, we have an oxygen tank. What about this?
MedTech surgical plot is not properly prepared for the selected program.
Okay, so let's take that back then. Okay, so now we have that. And anesthetic storage.
MedTech surgical plot is not properly prepared for the selected program.
So what do we do with empty stasis fluid container? Where are we going to go to fill that thing up?
This is a final request for Ripley Bay United Communications.
So she wanted us to get inside of the pod. Are you fucking nuts? There's no way you're going to get me inside of that thing. Whether beneficiary or victim, this is where the surgery patients lie. A high-end surgery pod, sophisticated enough to perform nearly any operation with a tiny margin for error. Okay. So it would appear that we need to leave. Yep, we need to still fill this fluid container somehow. I don't know with what. Actually, what about here?
I don't think this will fit. I think that'll just break it.
Oh, well, maybe... Okay, actually, we could probably use that that PDA thing to find a way into that room now. Let's try that. That's what we would need in this situation, isn't it?
Kane Corporation, the last truly great company, wants to thank all employees for their dedicated service. This year's profits are up 20% across all sectors. Life expectancy is on 5 years. We are at the cusp.
Here we go. Let's try this. Elizabeth Swanson, force field off. Let's go. Get me in.
Kane Corporation, tomorrow's technology, today.
Okay, but that still doesn't mean that I can get in here, though. That turned the force field off, but the door's still locked. What am I missing here? There's still something that's not quite right.
Wants to thank all employees for their dedicated service. This year's profits are up 20% across all sectors. Life expectancy is up 5 years. We are at the cusp of greatness. In the words of Henry Kane himself, humanity is chosen. Working together, we will never have.
Okay, so there's still got to be a way to open this door.
Today.
I think that'll just break it.
Get a
soup and whiskey mixer for just 100 credits at the Tin Twister.
Probably not a good idea. Nah, that's ridiculous.
Okay. So, gotta find some sort of way to open that door. I don't know how we're gonna do it, though. But there's gotta be a way to do it. So can we go back in here? Oh no, the force field's off in here. Perfect. I forgot about this. Okay, this is gonna be a big room for us here. Discarded stasis pod, empty stasis pod. Empty stasis pod. The familiar stasis pod design is the harbinger of sadness. And possibly, in the middle of all this slaughter, there is another survivor, clearly alive. His life signs seem normal. Oh, camera's in the way. How aware is he of what has happened on board the Groom Lake? I have no idea. And then, broken stasis control terminal, torn apart door. Damn, we got shit everywhere. Okay.
Tia, a survivor.
Someone alive?
Not exactly. He's in stasis.
Roll credits.
Dangerous to wake someone from stasis without the proper procedures being followed.
So who the hell woke me?
Forget him, John. You need to think about the mission.
Interesting. Okay, so that's one. This is an empty one. With a head. Okay. These symbols are going to come back and be really important here at some point. I just know it. Oh, is this them maybe merging, the creatures merging with the humans, possibly? Okay, so that looks like it needs like another chip or something. Let's check out this room. Aha, legs. The femurs have buckled in opposite directions and have been ripped apart from their sockets. My eyes could have been sucked from their sockets.
Another body. Or two.
Burke Carter. Be still, my beating heart. I saw the most divine creature in hydroponics. She's friends with that nurse, Erica. Erica gives me the evil eye, but Sadie is just a divine thing. Curves in all the right places in the face of an angel. I keep trying to come up with reasons to visit the medicinal hydroponics section. She never sees me, though. I'm not trained medical staff. Those soldiers in the recovery rooms give me funny looks if I'm at the window trying to get her attention. I have to find a way to speak to Sadie directly. I've seen her head to the decontamination room, and she seems to go there after every shift. I might try and strike up a conversation by one of the machines. Maybe offer to buy her a drink. I'll do it tomorrow. Or maybe the day after, because tomorrow I've got a double shift. Still, it takes a brave man to work on unknown sciences in the bosom of the cosmos, doesn't it? Like the jocks back at school would ever be able to do what I friggin' do. I risk life and limb to repair essential electronics, and that takes courage. I may not be a soldier, but I think I have the right to call myself a man of courage. I would say so, too. What's with the shutdown? Jesus. 9 days now? I've been trying to get through to the surgical pods for a week. I gave up going to the hydroponics to see Sadie after they started restricting access to unnecessary personnel. So now I just hang around product storage by the vending machines hoping to see her. But when I do, I just choke up. Damn. I'm so pathetic. I'm reading this book by Arian Sanchez. It's about the eugenics wars. It's friggin' amazing that we're even allowed to do what we do on the Groom Lake with what happened all those years ago. I have to hide the book, though. Dr. Milan saw me reading it in the rec room and he went totally apeshit. Threatened to burn the book and fire my ass. So now it stays under my pillow. And I sure as hell don't take it on my rounds. Instead, I bring one of the Pangean series by W.C. Dark with me. Is that his real name? Doubt it. I love Major Plot Hole. Plot Hole. He's incredible. Sometimes I wish I had the balls to be in the Marines rather than engineering. I'd love to be like him. Major Plot Hole. That's funny. Rations arrived today. Nobody's impressed. It's all emergency shit, so hardly gourmet. But man, I wasn't expecting much. But this is seriously bad. Because food's short, people are going bug fuck? I've never heard that before. People are going bug fuck. Lotus punched Malone, broke the poor bastard's nose. Steve's having trouble keeping everyone's fists off each other. I keep asking why we can't just raid hydroponics, but they keep shouting me down. Especially Sadie. She looks so pissed when she sees me. But nowhere near as pissed as when she looks at Dr. Milan and Dr. Ulrich Cooper. She must despise me. Why didn't I just ask her out before? Because you're a coward, Burke. A dirty, stinking coward. The power went out again. I'm so freaking scared. I can barely breathe. Those rumors of animals prowling around medical. Not rumors. I saw one guy ripped apart by one of those things. Couldn't make it out too well. Pale skin. Tails, I think. They move around like a pack of dogs and they're strong. People are scared and hungry. I kept a small stash of food in my quarters. I didn't even tell Steve about it. I feel ashamed for keeping it to myself, but people are getting crazy, man. I think it might actually be against regulation to hoard food. Miglietta would kill me if he knew I had rations hidden. Come on, the guy's nuts. He practically strangled me the other day. Carswell had to restrain him. Body still friggin' kills from the operation earlier. Steve was nominated to reprogram the security turrets, and the guy went and did it. He's a hero. Not like me. Now I'm not just a coward, I'm a friggin' murderer. I used those poor bastards in Stasis to keep the god-awful things from getting to me. I just unlocked the Stasis units and began the recovery process so that when they staggered out from the deep freeze, those things were waiting for them. Oh, that's fucked up. I found a product storage room that nobody was using and locked myself in. When the breach was reported, I heard the screams. I pissed myself. I fucking pissed myself. Is that any way for a real man to behave? As I ran, I saw Sadie cradling her best friend's bloodied body in the corridor. The worst friggin' part isn't that it never occurred to me to stop. I just hoped they'd buy me the time I needed to find a hiding place. That's who Burt Carter was. Whoever finds this, and I know somebody will, he was a coward. I just hope the computer parts in this PDA will come handy to whoever finds this. If my hide was useless in life, the least I can hope is that I left something, or something I left behind will be useful. Well, hopefully you did. I would love for something to be useful here.
No, it's one.
Oops. Here it is. Okay, that's the same message. So, stasis pod chip. You gonna pick it up? There we go. Okay, so which one of these stasis pods needed the thing? Ah, this one. Okay, perfect. Stasis pod chip, let's put it in here.
I don't think this will fit.
No? Discarded. What about this one then? Almost out of time, by the way. We'll check this out real quick.
I can't see it working like that.
Where would I put one of these things?
I can try to make it fit, but it may break.
Just making sure. I mean, you would think that it would go in one of these.
These don't go well together.
Here we go. That's the one. Oh shit, I don't know what we need here. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. This is not gonna be good. Okay, we're gonna stop right here. That is not a puzzle that I want to be spending the next 10 minutes on. So, when we come back on the next installment of Let's Play Stasis, we're going to try to figure that puzzle out so that we can unfreeze the guy that's in the stasis pod. So, when we come back, we're going to check that out. But until then, my friends, this is your host, LovelyCheesePizza, saying thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.